Alright guys, so I'm gonna do this video in two parts. It's gonna be surrounding the Tekken 8 expansion. The first part is gonna be my thoughts on the story mode and if I think they did a good job, a mediocre job, or a bad job. And then the second part of this video is gonna be your comments that you left me on the video I did about the Tekken stage, the new, I think it's called Genmaji. And the pricing around it. Now, I know a lot of you disagreed with my take. Rather than replying to all of those comments, because it got flooded with comments, I thought I would actually put your comments on screen and we'll go through them, and I'll address them so you guys can get more of an understanding of where I'm coming from. I guess the brownie analogy didn't go down well. So we'll get to that in a little bit. I'll put a timestamp in the description if you don't want to hear my review on this. So, finished playing this story mode. Now, what I will say is that it was quite fun, you know. It was only an hour long and it was free, so I was like, it's free, I didn't have to pay for this. It was like fun in like a silly shonen. Like I say, Tekken's very goofy, you know. There were loads of goofy moments in this story, so I'm going to cover the really insignificant points and then get to the points that really dragged it down. Now, the first thing is that, like, I don't know what the fuck Yoshimitsu was doing there. I don't know why Yoshimitsu was the character that was chosen. I don't know why it couldn't have been Leroy. I mean, I like Yoshimitsu, don't get me wrong. I just don't know why Yoshimitsu was the character that was chosen to be there. Eddie and Lydia made sense. That's a minor nitpick. You know, anyone could have been there, and I would have been like, why are they there? I think Eddie and Lydia would have been fine on their own, but I guess you needed more manpower. I guess in that instance, it would have made more sense to have Lars, I guess, because he's a Mishima. He put up more of a fight. But anyway, the game was very goofy. You know, like there's a part in it where Eddie is trying to protect his men in the Mishima Zaibotsu, and there's jacks that are running towards him that are going to self-destruct, and he like takes the explosion head on to save his men and then uses his capoeira to clear the dust. You know, it was very typical of Tekken, very goofy. It's not a bad thing. I do like the cheese in Tekken, and there's a lot of cheesiness in this. There's fights that happen that are quite cheesy. The fights in the actual game were very good though. They did them in a way where they feel very engaging, especially as you get towards the end. They get very intense. The general structure of the story was quite poor in my opinion. There's quite a hefty amount of arse pull here, and for those of you that were in the live stream, we were laughing, and you guys could see the look on my face. I was in shock really that they decided to go down this road. So I'll just forget the insignificant stuff. We'll talk about what we're really here for. Heihachi's return. So, as far as I could tell, Kazuya actually did get the job done. Heihachi actually went down. Now what I don't understand is what the hell was the Tekken monk doing at the bottom of a volcano whilst Kazuya and Heihachi were having their final battle and Akuma was lurking in the shadows during this fight. What was the Tekken monk doing down there? And how did he know that Heihachi was going to drop? Now I know what you're going to say. Mike, it's not that deep, it's Tekken. Look, we're going to review the story. Fair is fair. First of all, the establishment that is the Tekken monks is a load of arsepool. Where the hell have they been this whole time? Jin started World War III. Kazuya and Heihachi have plunged the world into chaos about 100 times. Jinpachi came back from the dead and had a whole demon in his stomach inside the Mishima Zaibotsu. Where were the Tekken monks then? They talk about purifying the Mishima style. That shit's been corrupt since I was a kid. Where have you been? Now you want to fix it, and the person you want to fix it through is Heihachi. If you've been around for several years, you must know that this guy doesn't have a devil, and yet somehow he is worse than Kazuya and Jin. I know some people say Kazuya is worse. I don't think he is. There's always been this narrative point where it's like Jin can save Kazuya, or the devil is the reason that Kazuya is so corrupted he's lost himself. Heihachi doesn't have a devil. Heihachi's just an arsehole. And these monks that have been around for hundreds of years in their infinite wisdom saw Heihachi finally bite the dust. Kazuya had him beat. Thrown into a volcano, he wasn't going to survive that, right? I think they made that pretty clear. He was saved because the Tekken monks knew this guy's not going to make it. You see this guy go down, who is a war criminal basically as well. Like he's done untold amounts of things, and you save him, and then you bank on amnesia with Heihachi Mishima. I can't take this. I mean, Tekken's not a serious story, but that plot line, I was like, Tekken team, you couldn't come up with anything better. And I sat here and I thought to myself, what could they have done to make things better than what they did? And do you know what came to mind after I finished the live stream? If the Tekken monk was down there near the lava, and the Tekken monk is just a human, why didn't Reina just show up instead? Reina is a devil. She clearly has a relationship with Heihachi. She's been aware of Heihachi's existence for a while because Tekken 8 takes place like not too far after Tekken 7, so she still would have been of age. Maybe you could argue that her devil had not been activated yet and that it was activated when Kazuya shot her with the laser beam, but if it was up to me, I would change that and I would have her devil available to her, because the story that they have gone with undermines the Tekken monks, undermines what Kazuya did, undermines the entire story. I know a lot of people are saying that Heihachi's return undermines it anyway. I never agreed with that because he's returned before from the dead. So I'm just like, he's just doing it again. So for me, it wasn't that. It was how he was going to return that was going to either get me on their side or get me against them. So you resurrect this guy, right? And you teach him the ultimate Mishima technique. As if Heihachi was not strong enough, this guy can fight devils. Almost on par. Sometimes beating them. And you resurrect him. And you make him 3 times as stronger. And I'm not joking. He is literally 3 times as strong as what he was. I don't know how Jin is going to deal with this. Another thing that I thought was so dumb. And again, you could have come up with something better. Is they were like, every 200 years, this meteorite will crash into this exact same spot every 200 years. So they didn't specify when this started happening, just that this was a prophecy and that it's every 200 years. Well, the problem here is that a meteorite randomly dropping out of the air is one of the most dumb things, and also meteorites have been known to cause absolutely untold amounts of destruction. The Tekken Monk's temple was not that far from where this meteorite was dropping. So they just happened to have Heihachi there, you know, they saved this guy, obviously very close to when the meteorite is coming down. Kazuya and Jin happened to be the reason for the meteorite falling. I don't know if that's like something poetic, it seemed dumb to me. And in this time, Heihachi is starting to regain his memories, right? He's starting to remember the devil. And to remember this fully, this guy stops the meteorite with his head. And that's not the problem here, okay? Mishimas do ridiculous things all the time. It's the fact that you crafted a story around this old establishment that are the Tekken monks to use this guy to purify the Mishima style when this guy's the most evil bastard on the planet. The worst. And then what happens is Heihachi ends up beating the piss out of everybody, which is exactly what everybody thought was going to happen. Once Heihachi gets back his memories and he gets back on his shit, who's going to stop him now? He's literally the strongest character in the Tekken universe. For a time it was Kazuya, then Jin took that place, now it's Heihachi. He was already a handful for Kazuya to deal with, right? They were fighting to the death. With Jin's one, it fought to a knockout. They didn't fight to the death in Jin's one, they fought to a knockout. With Heihachi's one, they fought to the death. And Kazuya just about got the W. And you give Heihachi the ultimate technique. I gotta be honest with you guys, even though it was fun, it was a bit too silly. You know, I like Tekken, you know, Tekken story is dumb and fun. It was a bit too silly. We laughed about it on live stream. They left it on a cliffhanger. I was told that with every season they're going to expand the story, which is great. You know, if they're doing it for free, free is free, so I'm not going to complain. But it wasn't good. It was passable, but it wasn't good. I would give it a 5 out of 10. It was funny at times. It was exciting at times. The music was phenomenal as always. Very beautiful looking, which you come to expect from Tekken now. It was nice to see Heihachi back. I wanted Heihachi back. Didn't want him to come back like this. I think there could have been a better reason for this. You could, you know, they said that Heihachi has got 27 children or something. Maybe another one could have belonged to Kazumi's clan. Maybe he had an affair with one of Kazumi's sisters, and this kid's also got the devil gene, and they sacrificed themselves by getting too close to the volcano to save Heihachi. I don't know, man, but having these monks that are meant to be protectors of the world save one of the most dangerous people, if not the most dangerous person in the Tekken universe, and then hope that this guy like doesn't remember who he was, is ridiculous. Because if he remembers what he was, even without the ultimate Mishima technique, he can still pretty much kill everyone. He could almost kill Kazuya, who at the time of their fight was the strongest character in the universe. And Jin fought Kazuya almost to a standstill, so he's definitely stronger than Jin. I don't know, it was all very, very silly. There was funny, goofy moments in it, you know, Eddie with the whole capoeira thing, and yeah, it was free, so I guess. But well, there was some lore as well. Yeah, we've come to. I guess they've insinuated that Reina is from Kazumi's clan, which would make sense because they're the ones with the devil gene. It wasn't the Mishimas that had the devil gene. It was just passed to Kazuya, so they were the Mishimas were associated with devils because of that. But the gene came from the Hochinjo clan, I think they're called, or Hachinjo. Reina seems to be one of them, so she's not actually Heihachi's biological daughter. She seems to just belong to the clan, and Heihachi spared her, I guess, to use her for a devil, which is even referenced in one of their intros. We'll see where the story goes, but it was goofy. It was funny and it was fun at times, but it was goofy. So I guess I'll get on to reading your comments now on the video I put up. We'll see how that pans out. Alright, so I'm going to read through your comments on this video. Now, a lot of people said to me, "Yo, Mike, this is a rare L for you." And it's all fine. I don't mind a bit of pushback on things. And a lot of people saying, some people were saying to me, I got messages from people saying, "Oh, are you going to delete this video? It doesn't look good." No, I'm not going to delete the video. No, why would I do that? I'm going to have their opinions. I'm not going to delete a video, even if everyone disagreed with me. Now, I'll give you some more context as to why I said what I said. I read through your comments, and a lot of people said that they felt lied to. Now, this didn't make any sense to me because when I went to purchase Tekken 8, I had a look at what they were offering in the season pass, and I didn't see any mention of stages. Now, a lot of people said, and I can't remember this, but I'll take your word for it. A lot of people said Tekken characters are bundled with the stages. I think you're probably right on that. I seem to remember getting the stage with Negan, but my memory is a bit hazy with that. But I can imagine that being the case. But my thing with this was that I never saw it, so I never assumed. So when I saw the backlash, I was like, why is there so much backlash about this? There was no mention of any stages. I don't see what the problem is. Having read your comments, I can kind of see where you guys are coming from. I don't know. I don't think I agree fully. I know that like it would be very easy to go, "Oh, I'm sorry guys, bad take." I'd keep it 100 of you guys. If I don't agree with you, I don't agree with you. If you don't agree with me, I keep my comment sections open. So I don't know if I fully agree yet. I haven't gone through all the comments yet. I'm going to read these for you guys to see. We'll just go through it one at a time. First one here is from Faso. It says, "I don't really agree with this take, Mike. While I can see your point in which it never was made public that stages are not part of a season pass, I think that with past practices of Tekken 7, we are accustomed to having stages be part of a season pass. Each one had either one or two. Obviously, one could argue that Tekken 8 is just a different game at times and has changed. But when I saw that I had to pay for the stage in order to play on it, I reactively was disappointed and upset by this decision. I really think that this isn't the right way to go forward, especially because of just how much monetization is present in the game already. Not to mention the marketing outside of the game. At times it looks like profit is being prioritized over making a good game from my perspective, and I wish things would run different." I thought about that comment, yeah. I thought that was a good comment. I thought about it and I was like, I see where he's coming from. I 100% see where he's coming from. And I also see how I've been hypocritical in what I've said to an extent. I don't class stages the same as I do costumes. And the reason I'm saying that is that I've been very rough, or not rough. I guess I've been very critical of Namco's not including old costumes in the game. The reason that I've been very much against what Namco's done in that regard is that I've spoken to people in the industry, and they said that moving the pre-existing costumes over to Tekken 8 shouldn't cost what they're making out to cost. And when I look at the Genmaji stage and the music and all that, I wonder if they're in the same ballpark. I don't know how much it costs to make a stage. I try to look at it from that perspective. Am I being hypocritical? Because it certainly sounds hypocritical. But I don't know if characters and stages fall under the same banner as cosmetics and costumes. I don't know. I had to sit and think about it for a little bit. And I don't put them under the same banner, but I hear what he's saying when he says that past practice of Tekken 7 made people accustomed. Now, obviously, I think you guys would have to concede, at least I would hope so, that is based on an assumption on something that has happened previously. I know some people might not like hearing that. It might seem like I'm shilling for the company. I don't know. At this point, after everything I've said about Tekken, if you think I'm shilling just because I've had a take that you don't agree with, that's a bit of a weird way to look at it. I'll probably have to ponder this one a little bit more. I get where people are coming from. It's happened before, and to an extent I can see where I've been somewhat hypocritical because I've been very harsh with the costumes and they've been in the game before and now we have to pay extra for certain things. I don't know where I sit on that one. Next comment says, but stage isn't some cosmetic thing in Tekken, it impacts the gameplay greatly. Let me see what the replies say on this. A character is way more impactful than a stage. Focus on the problem instead of spreading BS. Yes, you are overall correct, though. Which stage you play in Tekken matters more compared to any other fighter. That's true. That is true, I guess. This stage seems more like a reskinned arena, so I don't know if you're actually missing anything by not playing on this stage, but I hear what you're saying. That's definitely true. Tekken stages do come into... They do make more of a difference than other fighting games. For as long as Season Pass has been a thing, it has meant buy this to get all the DLC for the season, with very few exceptions, usually in the form of purely cosmetic items. They have taken a decade-plus long trend and perverted it. Yeah, that is a fair point. That's a fair point. They have meant that for a long time. I wonder why I didn't get angry about it. Maybe it's gotten to the point where I'm so used to bullshit happening. Not that I would even class this as bullshit, because I didn't see it that way. I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't see it that way. But maybe I'm so used to having to double check what I'm buying or not coming to expect things anymore from companies. Maybe I have lowered my own bar. But then this guy said, I get your point, but they never called it Season Pass. It was labeled playable character Year 1 Pass. He replied back saying, you're right actually, but in my opinion it's even worse. They sold the Ultimate Edition, which historically has always meant this will include all DLC for the game. More recently, it has started to mean this gets you DLC for the first season. You have to go into the breakdown chart of what you do and don't receive to actually find out what you're getting in the playable character Year 1 Pass. Most buyers probably assumed they'd be getting all DLC for the first year, not just characters. I know I did. Yes, but it still doesn't say in the Season Pass that the stages are included with it. There's definitely a difference of opinions on how this is panning out. There's the crowd that I guess sat in the same camp as me, whereas I didn't see it stated anywhere. Do you know what it might also be? I don't typically buy season passes. Mortal Kombat and Tekken were the first ones that I bought, maybe since, I don't even remember. I haven't even bought season passes for Dragon Ball games. I don't even know if Xenoverse did. Maybe I'm just not privy to that side of it, but I always assumed that whatever they say that you're getting on the tin is what you're getting. And anything outside of that is either going to be free for whatever reason or paid. I never saw it as, even if it's not advertised, it should be in the bundle. Maybe that's something that's gone over my head just because I don't really indulge in season passes or ultimate editions. Even for Sparking Zero, I haven't bought the ultimate edition. After Tekken and Mortal Kombat, I decided to not buy them anymore for various reasons, but I'll get into that in another video. Tough luck for Namco because I ain't paying for a stage. Get the fuck out. There's no defending this. It was already bad as it is selling us recycled DLC costumes, but I was fine with it. But stages, unless I constantly choose it for training mode, the chances I get to play it in online mode are slim. Just vote with your wallet, everyone, like I did. And then the reply was, there is defending this. I don't think that the season pass said you'll get stages for free. But he's right, that's not on Tekken Team or Namco. That's saying you didn't bother to read, and with that I can't help you. Oh, so this is the same guy. I find it weird that you're okay with recycled DLC costumes, but this stage is not recycled. This is like a brand new stage of brand new music. I hear everybody else's concerns, but this one in particular doesn't really make any sense, because if you're okay with things that have been in the game before, why is a new thing a problem for you? Again, I don't want anyone listening to this to think that I'm lumping you in with this talking point. It's just that if you're okay with recycled DLC costumes, why are you not okay with a brand new stage? That seems odd to me. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about that one. People feel lied by omission. Don't purchase anything in protest, even if Harada says nice words on Twitter. If you're upset with the product, let them know by not giving them your money. That's true. Money is a language, and the only language Namco and every other company speaks understands. I completely agree. I'm all with Harada, but I ain't paying for a stage when I already bought this game for £100 or $100. Hear that? I hear that. Bamco and Harada deserve all the heat at this point. This is corporate scumbaggery. We pay for the Ultimate Edition and ultimately get fucked. Addressing balance sucks. Monetization sucks. The season 1 characters all could have been base roster characters barring a guest. You could have delayed this game 8 to 12 months for a better product. You charge additional money for a stage that should have came with the DLC character. You cannot tell me that Harada has no leverage to really fix this scumbaggery. And by not standing up to it, he is no better than the corporate executives. Well, I don't know where Harada stands in the company. I can definitely understand that the finger should be pointed at him when the fingers are being pointed because he's the figurehead. But I don't know what leverage he has at all. I don't think any of us do. They claim to want the game to be great for spectators, but we all love Dragunov mirror matches and finals so much. Guess what? You want to retain casuals and you do not do that by the current BS in this game. Predatory DLC practice, terrible game balancing, no punishment for cheaters in ranked, and lacking game modes. Where is team battle, survival, and time attack? I want Tekken 8 to be successful, but it is hard for me to recommend this game to friends with all the BS. Heck, I got to wonder if they are not alienating veteran players of the game balance BS. Also wonder why if Leroy warranted an emergency patch in T7 that Dragunov does not in T8. There's quite a few fair points there. The nerf they gave to Dragunov is hilarious. It's a slap on the wrist. He's still Dragunov. Like, he's not going anywhere on that tier list. I don't know how strong Heihachi is going to be considered. He seems pretty ridiculous, but as it stands, Dragunov is still number 1. And I don't think we're going to see him come out of the tournament spotlight anytime soon. The patch that they gave, what they did to Dragunov was negligible at best. I don't think most players expected free stages to be free. The problem is players who purchased the deluxe or ultimate editions feel burned. While Street Fighter 6's monetization is horrendous, when you bought the passes or had those more premium editions, the characters, their stages and avatar items were included. That's a common approach among passes, and this is why most players are upset. They got exactly what they paid for. This is the take I'm leaning towards. You pay $90 to $100 and content is still being left out in the first season. I hear that. I think I understand more the why has this content been left out versus the assumption. Because if you're like, why has this been left out? I think I can get more on board of that talking point than assuming it was going to be in there in the first place. Because then that tells me you probably did read and then you went, why is this not in there after having read everything? I think my analogy with the brownie probably didn't land because mine was all based around an assumption, not based around the idea that it should exist in the game. So maybe I didn't communicate that well enough. Not making stages a part of the pass is ridiculous because you have to lab the stage as well as the characters. So why are you selling it separately? Even Street Fighter got that right. Rare disagreement with you on my part, but I think people should absolutely be holding hot pokers to Namco and Tekken Team's feet because this is very clearly a byproduct of the overly egregious monetization of the game. I've said it before, I knew before launch a battle pass system would be in Tekken 8. I never would have made the purchase. This isn't even a whole character we are talking about, it's a stage. In a list of possible rotating stages for $5, shambolic. Saying they dropped the shop and battle pass dribble 2 weeks after I got the game, I would have never bought Tekken 8, I'm right there with you. Yeah, I hear that. The shop thing was really bad, but we've spoken about that 100 times. It's an issue because Tekken 7 always had the stages included, so it was right to assume after Lydia's free stage it would stay a trend. Especially after the stupid shop was added, now they are also charging separate for stages. I'm not going to buy it, so honestly I don't care. I kind of hope people do actually buy it so Bandai sees it as a win and they get greedier with this game and it just riddled with monetization. The same with MK, the community supported it and deserves what happened to them, so I'll gladly watch it burn and move on. Fair play. Some men just want to watch the game get thrown into a volcano. Reddit Tekken 8 forums is freaking out right now as an example, but I'm not surprised Bandai will do this. They are getting scummy as time goes on. So yeah, a lot of these comments are the same. I wonder if there's not, I mean, people, thing is, yeah, one thing I do love about YouTube, one thing that I've come to learn is I never censor my comment section. I let people say whatever they want to say, and obviously these days will come as a content creator. You'll put something out and people go, what the fuck are you talking about? You just got to hold that out. I definitely hear where people are coming from. I think when I saw it initially, I was like, well, I didn't hear about a stage, so why are people upset about it? But when I read your comments back, I'm a bit like, yeah, okay, I get it. Obviously, I know that some people are going to be a bit more vitriolic. Take stage should have been included in the season pass. The fuck is this take? Relax, man. Just calm yourself. Let's look for the more angry takes. I want to see where the anger is really coming from because there's a lot of rational takes on here. Pull the FDX here. What does that mean? What is do people think FDX is a shill or something? I'm confused. Okay, let me read it. There's a decent reason these stages are referred to as X's stage. The location seems to be the focal to Heihachi's story, and he appears prominently in the location. It's natural to assume that the stages are paired with the characters. If it was something extra that may not have been in the original plan, like frame data or Tekken Ball in Tekken 7, that would be an entirely different situation. But this comes off more like we expect, that you expect the stage to be free, so it'll give you the story update you likely wouldn't have paid for. For the story you probably haven't played yet, then charge for the whole thing you'd most likely be interacting with. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. I don't know what PDX has to do with it though. Hey Mac, I think you need to refer to the word president. Bandai set a president. Oh, I read this comment earlier. Yeah, I understand. Bandai set a trend, I guess, and then this is also the same as the other comment saying that this is expected in season passes. Sorry, I was falling asleep there. We appreciate you, Mike, but this is an L take. The tribe does not approve. Hey, listen, man. Even your tribal chief has some down days, okay? Don't be too hard on me. You just proved you hate Mortal Kombat 1. Bandai is as bad as WB. What does Mortal Kombat 1 have to do with this? Yeah, I do hate Mortal Kombat 1. What? Let's also note that Mortal Kombat 1 added online practice before Tekken 8. I don't know if that's entirely true. Tekken 8 came out in January. We're in October now, right? The online practice was added in 9 months, roughly, 8 to 9 months. I think they were waiting longer in Mortal Kombat for online practice, so that's not entirely. They didn't come out at the same time. Let's not forget, Mortal Kombat 1 was out first. Okay, well, you know what? What an L take, a chocolate brownie, lol. Maybe the brownie. Yeah, do you know what? I hear where you guys are coming from. I hear where you guys are coming from. Mike, I can have a bakery and sell donuts and brownies separately. That's fine. I can also offer a bundle that includes both. You order the bundle for a month and get both. But if one time in the next month you order the bundle, but you only get the donuts without me updating you clear of the change, you'll rightfully first think there was a mistake or you were ripped off. Do you know what? I hear that. Fair enough. I get that. I think my take was a combination of not really buying season passes. I saw it as, why didn't people read? But you know what? After reading your comments, I hear where you're coming from. I still think, though, just hear me out here, okay, before anyone gets angry. I still think that you should not assume. I do stand by that, and that's how I navigate my life most of the time. Even if I've had something happen several times, I don't assume. I think that might be where people went wrong. I mean, I 100% hear what you guys are saying, that they were doing it a certain way for a long time and all of a sudden it's changed now. I hear that. But I also think that it's not a good idea to assume, especially when it comes to things that we have absolutely no control over whatsoever. We don't know what the future of Tekken looks like, and for example, Heihachi launched with 4 costumes, I believe. I wouldn't assume for Tekken 9 that because we got 4 costumes per character, that we're going to get 4 costumes per character in Tekken 9. I wouldn't assume that. I understand the precedent been set. I 100% get that. I think I still stand on the people that are saying that they just expected it. I don't agree with those people. Those people that are outlining why it should be in there and how the precedent was set, I get that. I can stand behind that. I can stand behind that completely. But just buying something and assuming that it's going to be the same way as it was before, I can't stand behind that. I think in general in life, that's a bad way to go about things. That's just me personally. I never make assumptions of stuff. I'll read and then I'll either be like, okay, this is okay, or I'll be like, oh, this is bullshit. When I read the Tekken character passes, to me it was very clear. But again, I hear where people are coming from. Not really a free brownie if I gave you $120 though. Gotta call you out, bro. If MK1 had done this, that you would have roasted them and Tekken 7 stages was it? I wouldn't though. And I've never changed up my discourse between any game. It remains the same. Tattoos look dope. Thanks. The 1W comment in here. So yeah, we'll leave it there. I think I've read enough of the comments. I hear where you guys are coming from. Mike, let me get a brownie. I'll hook you up, bro. Don't worry. I hear where you guys are coming from. I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from. Again, if you disagree, I'm not going to censor the comments. I'm not going to remove this video. And if you shit on this video as well, I won't remove it. The comments you're more than welcome to say whatever you want. But yeah, I stand on that. I stand on the assumption thing. I don't think you should ever make assumptions about anything. I understand the idea behind it. I 100% understand the idea. I understand where you guys are coming from. Maybe what I didn't understand before. Couldn't understand the backlash. Let me know what you guys think. And I guess I'll catch you soon. Take care and peace.